Welcome back, FE12 Lunatic-Reverse 0% Growth, Chapter 21. This is a very large map with a challenging side objective, but the more difficult aspect is the amount of overlapping range that 12 move wyverns and 10 range meteor tomes have together. I complained quite a bit about the situations where 2 overlapping wyverns are basically guaranteed to hit the same unit in my previous run, and I claimed I had to get dodges to deal with that, but I was wrong. A well-known strategy is to use Wolf reclassed to General. The wyverns will double him, but as long as he kills on counter before their second attack, he is able to survive combat with 2 wyverns. And I had the perfect steel bow already forged to do that in that run, so that was a major oversight on my part. However, in this run, Wolf's luck is too high for the strat I need to do, so instead say hello to General Sedgar. I absolutely can't afford the necessary steel or silver bow forge, but I can afford +1 might to the brave bow. And for anyone who doesn't know, brave weapons always attack twice when that unit takes a turn in combat. Sedgar does need an arm scroll to be able to use the brave bow, it's the last one from the armory, as well as a talisman for survival. So altogether, this is still a fairly expensive strat, but it is so fast and so beautiful. Palla used both a goddess icon and a luck bond to further widen the chasm of luck between her and Sedgar. That leaves just 1 luck bond left in the convoy out of the 5 we had, and if you think for 1 second I'm not gonna use it, then you have not been paying attention. But you'll have to wait till the next video for that. I also get to finally do something I've always wanted to do, which is Spell Sword Etzel. I could never really make it work into a strat before, but it slots in perfectly in this strat, and I can't wait for you to see it. There's a ton of action to deal with on the complete opposite side of the map, so that's the job for Palla, Zane, and Minerva, although Minerva and Zane aren't safe to move out until we deal with the immediate threats. Katarina posted a familiar 2-hit KO against a Berserker, and Palla moves up there as well. 3 wyverns can now reach Palla and Katarina, but they don't double Katarina, so she's fine. And the chasm of luck we've created between Palla and Sedgar with the goddess icon and luck bond will send 2 of them over to Sedgar, despite Sedgar having higher defense than Palla. Observe the barrier buff on Minerva, that's extremely important. The Wolf Guard all joined in Chapter 19 with C rank supports among each other, so Wolf is giving a very welcome +5 hit to Sedgar. Sedgar has 79 displayed hit against the wyverns for a 70% chance to land all 4 brave bow hits, compared to 57% without Wolf's support bonus. This shit matters. This 3rd wyvern thankfully can't reach Sedgar to kill him, and he's going to go for Katarina. Despite being able to double Palla, this is due to Palla's overwhelming luck advantage, and Katarina hits back hard on counter. Moving Sedgar up 3 tiles here allows Sheema to move her max distance to dance him, and also puts Sedgar in range to give his support bonus to Wolf for this longbow shot at the wyvern. We got the longbow in the previous chapter, and surprisingly only requires a C rank in bows. This choke point between the mountains is one of the most difficult locations in the game. There are 2 wyverns just off screen to the north, one of which covers the exact same tiles as this Swordmaster and Meteor Tome Sorcerer. There is just no way to survive unless we take out the Swordmaster on player phase. So we see Palla using the Gradivus, which has 18 might and 1-2 range, but requires A-rank lances. Now even with the Swordmaster out of the way, surviving both the Meteor Tome and a wyvern without routing a dodge is still borderline impossible. Our 3 healers had to use Recover on Sedgar and 2 Physics on Katarina, so no one's available to barrier Sedgar, but that's okay, he was able to use a Pure Water as he got in position. He'll draw the aggro away from Palla thanks to the Grand Canyon of luck between them, but is he really going to survive this? Oh shit, I see you, Sedgar. With the Talisman we bought from the armory, the fresh Pure Water, and killing the wyvern on counter to avoid getting doubled, he is able to survive against stat variation with 1 HP. Can we get some fucking hype in the comments for General Sedgar? General Wolf would have higher defense, but again, Wolf's luck is too high for any of this to work. Now with the relevant wyverns taken care of, Zane and Minerva are safe to move in on this sorcerer for big damage, with pretty high hit, all things considered. I highlighted a Berserker because we want to completely avoid pulling that pack of enemies. So the best Sheema can do this turn is dance Wolf on the edge of the red, allowing Wolf to pick up another longbow kill with the support bonus from Sedgar. I love support bonuses, it makes the strategy a lot more interesting, but it was incredibly stupid to hide support ranks from the player in this game. There's literally no way to know who's got what, and it's misleading because the support ranks are separate from the support conversations. There's a lot of enemies left to fight, so we can't push too far forward, but 1 step at a time. Palla pulled another wyvern that would otherwise be a major threat as we're coming out of this choke point. She survives being doubled and lands very nice counter damage with the Gradivus. Zane lands huge and accurate damage with the Silver Lance to finish off this wyvern. A Devil Axe would also work, but I like to route in the reliability where I can, especially now that the most important forge is already paid for. Minerva stops one tile short of her max movement, because while I highlighted a Meteor Tome Sorcerer to the east, there's also a Wyvern over there that Minerva would die to. Spellsword Etzel takes a bite out of the Swordmaster, but don't worry, that is not the big reason I brought him. Then with Sedgar positioned close enough for support, Wolf shows up with a very impressive 91 hit with the Silver Bow against a late-game Lunatic stat Swordmaster. This is very nice. As a side note, if you've never seen a sniper's crit animation in this game, it's essentially a 360 no-scope. It's honestly hilarious. Katarina inches forward for the next pull, which is only safe to do because Palla pulled that Wyvern earlier. There's a lot of healing to do now. This is definitely the one where all the physic gets used. The Levin Sword breaks, but you'll recall that we never saved any uses from unrouted crits with that Levin Sword. Perfectly routed, as all things should be. Zane starts off the turn by cleaning up the thief that Palla hit last turn. This Wyvern rolled max HP and defense, so Minerva needs a coin flip Dragon Pike hit to kill it, but in any other scenario, she can kill with the Hawklair. Minerva has to soak the Meteor Tome for Palla now, so she'll need quite a bit of healing. Etzel hands off the Levin Sword, but he'll get it back in a minute. Now plenty of healing goes out on Minerva and Katarina, with Cord finally caught up to use the Recover Staff. What about Palla? Well, the best thing about Gradivis is that using it from your inventory like an item gives you a full heal, which is absolutely amazing, even if it's not equipped. And that's good, since the Brave Lance is the perfect answer to these thieves, who will only attack you if you're standing directly on their shortest path to the village. With the 10 extra hit from Minerva's support bonus, Palla has a total of 89 hit with the Brave Lance, as we've caught these thieves on a plains tile rather than a mountain. I guess my real question is, how does that village even exist most of the time? If there's this many thieves living nearby, and a Wyvern can spawn from the central fort later that's also gonna go kill the village, it just doesn't seem like a safe place to live. I don't know. We now accomplish one of our main objectives of the whole run, as Cord finally hits A-rank stabs as a sorcerer. It doesn't really do anything, but I absolutely love that we got it done. Ymir is a new unit we got at the start of the chapter, and he's absolutely perfect for soaking Meteor Tomes with his massive health pool and very low luck. Sedgar's gonna step one tile further to pull two more perfectly overlapping Wyverns, like on turn 1. Minerva needs to soak another Meteor for Palla, so we'll send our last 2 heals this turn over to her, and she's also gonna need a Vulnerary. And wouldn't you know it, Zane is positioned perfectly to imitate Palla once again. Palla then moves to pull the pesky nearby Swordmaster, and she's going to heal up with Gradivis. I visit the armory here to burn some random numbers, because Katarina was going to both dodge and crit on enemy phase, and I don't want that in the video. Minerva survives the meteor with 1 HP, thanks to her waning barrier buff from turn 1, and that survival is consistent. Absolutely perfect. Katarina is stuck overkilling with the Forged Levin Sword now, but that's fine. Sedgar once again shows off the Brave Bow with the extra 5 hit from his buddy Wolf. We are looking very good. Can we get some love in the comments for General Sedgar? I forgot to give Palla the Killer Lance in preparation, so Ymir's going to grab it from the convoy. Minerva is about to find her dying brother at the village, and you do indeed need to do this before Marth gets there, and not after, in order to recruit said dying brother after the chapter ends. Minerva also hit the vendor to burn a random number, otherwise Ymir was going to die to a 9% meteor crit on enemy phase, because that's just what FE12 does. Cord gave Etzel a barrier buff, because the next enemy we have to pull is a Thoron Tome Sorcerer with 24 speed, so that sorcerer would double and kill everyone in the army except for 2 units. Katarina, but she's got to kill another Berserker, and Etzel, who despite joining in Chapter 9, reclasses to 21 speed and an unparalleled 9 base resistance as a Swordmaster. Then another +7 from the barrier to 16 resistance, for 46 total effective health against the Sorcerer's 41 total attack. To be clear, Draco Knight Palla, with her current stats and a barrier buff, would die to 1 round of combat with this Sorcerer, but Swordmaster Etzel can get it done. Etzel's contributions to this run are less flashy than Palla or Katarina, but just as necessary. I would rank him above Minerva. He's top 3 in the game. Fucking S+ tier. It blows my mind how good he is, and I'll never understand why people promote Elrian when you can just use Etzel. The second Unforged Levin Sword does finally break, but we're all done with it. I want Zane in range of the northwest cave for next turn, but we need our positioning to ensure the thieves aren't covering the secret shop, since after Marth gets the Starlight Tome from Nicholas at the village here, the thieves will only be interested in attacking us. Our remaining goals this turn are to set up a silly improvised trade chain to get the Killer Lance to Palla, while also taking down the Sorcerer. Palla had to come in here anyway to get danced after healing with Radivus, so the Killer Lance stuff really wasn't even out of the way. We saw that the Brave Lance was perfect for killing thieves, but it is also perfect for killing these Meteor Tome Sorcerers. Sedgar could finish off the Sorcerer now with the Brave Bow if he got healed, but he'd have to land both hits, so giving Rebecca to Ymir is actually a much more reliable kill. And this kill did require the chip damage from Etzel. Another perfectly routed Levin Sword. Cord needs to get moving toward the gate to rescue Marth next turn. I made sure to have 7,500 gold left over in preparations to now buy an Energy Drop, Spirit Dust, and Angelic Robe from the Secret Shop. And go ahead and leave a comment on the video trying to guess what that Energy Drop is for. Zane finds a Talisman that I really would have liked before I had to buy 2 of them from the armory. But whatever. You could live without this Spirit Dust if you deploy the Avatar in this chapter and the next instead of Wolf, and thus you get the Magic Bond from her support with Katarina. But I don't really need that 2,500 gold for anything else, except to forge 1 more point of crit, but it's much better to take the reliability that Wolf brings with his high skill and his C-rank support with Sedgar. Now the problem with the boss of this chapter is that he has the Glower Tome, which completely ignores his target's resistance, and so he's got 42 total attack with enough speed to double Palla. Now with only 41 HP, Katarina would instantly die from full to the reversal, and there's no way to get our new Angelic Robe on her and use it this turn. After the battle, yet another fool tries to make us hide our afro, but this shall never come to pass. I am extremely proud of this video. Thank you very, very much for watching.